are here at Concrete Farm. We're coming up on September 1st. We're about a week early, but we got our fields disced. Chiseled. We use chiseled baskets on it. Got it razor smooth. And we're out here with the 8500 series Deere drill, and the LS MT573. We're about to plant some winter wheat. So we're going to ride along next to him. Make sure it's planting. All the seed tubes are dropping seed. Beat it. We're in a drought right now, and we're able to get my soil's a little sandy, so we're able to chisel through it. I believe he's planting at about 6 miles an hour, maybe 7. We're using the LS over our Deere and our Alice or anything. The fuel mileage on it, just the fuel, not fuel mileage, excuse me, the fuel per hour that it uses is so much less than the Deere. We're still in a drought here in Oklahoma. It's 100 degrees. I think it's 97 today. Yeah, it's 97, 98 right now. I think it's 101 with a heat index. This is not normal for us in August anyway. I mean, this is pretty typical, but we still, in my area where I'm at here in central Oklahoma, I've had over maybe an inch since May, and this is now the end of October, almost the first week of September. We've had just nothing. All the hay production around here has pretty much came to a standstill. My cattle, everybody else's, have literally ate the fields down to nothing, and we're feeding hay already. It's like it's winter time, and then there's still no hay on top of that to feed. There's a shortage. So it's been a rough year for farming, especially coming out of the whole pandemic thing, and it was already a rough deal. Bales of hay around here, $100, $110 a bale, which is ludicrous. I don't know how farmers or ranchers can afford that. I know a lot of the farmer rancher friends of mine are selling off cattle because they just can't afford to feed them. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. But we're gonna go ahead and plunge ahead. This is seed we had in storage from last year's harvest that we didn't use or sell. So we're gonna replant this year. We normally don't go that way. We usually buy it, but with the way expenses are and everything this year, we're gonna try to cinch our belts up a little bit and go the seed storage route and see what comes of that. As soon as this is down, we'll come back. We'll put some fertilizer in and see what we can get. Hopefully, it's supposed to rain on Monday, possibly 60% chance. We've not had any success so far with any of that panning out, so we're trying, but we're gonna go ahead and get things planted and hoping that it's gonna be a wet wet fall, and that this seed will get in the ground and take some water and hopefully work out for us. But we're using the MT573. It's a great tractor. We encourage them. It's our third one. I had some others and sold them. We were down to where it's just, we had more tractors than we had people. So it didn't make sense to have them. We used the Alice Chalmers. You can see it over there. And the Alice Chalmers 1300 cultivator. There's our other cultivator, another 1300 series, and we had that on the 6 series Deere. That's how we cultivated these fields. It's a little chunky in some areas, but with the drought, it's as smooth as we can get it. That's what he's already planted, or drilled rather. But looks like it's doing good. Back around here, watch him make a pass. It's I'm not gonna sit here long. It's hot. I don't know why he went so far out. I don't know his method, but whatever works for him as long as it gets on the ground. It's a good tractor. The AC in is really good. The air conditioners in those tractors are phenomenal. I mean, we're in central Oklahoma here. It's hot as it is anywhere in the States, and the AC works perfectly fine. I mean, we run these tractors all day. This tractor gets used every day. I mean, it may only be 1 hour one day, but then the next day it's 12, and the next day it's 2, and the next day it's 10, and 12 hours. I mean, it gets used a lot. It's been a very good tractor for us, and it's affordable. I mean, my God, you can buy 2 of those just about for the price of 1 John Deere. It's not a Deere. We all know that's not a case. It's not. We know. I don't need to hear the cat in the comments. I know what it is. I've owned 3 of them, but it's been a good tractor. And if you're on a budget and you want a good machine to get out in the field and work all day long, and good hobby farmer, 60, 80 acres, that tractor will do everything. It'll run a 10-foot disc. It'll run a small 8-foot harrow. Chisel. I've run an 8-foot chisel on it. 6-foot chisel. I'm sorry, 6-foot chisel. It'll take you a little longer to do everything, but it'll do the job. You want a hobby farm? We're about to get dusted out here. Yeah, nice and dusty. Oh, the motor. Set her down. I think he's trying to set his lines so he knows where he's at, and then that way he can run his lines better. I usually do all the planting every year, but whatever, it's not that hard of a job. Anybody can do it. It's got tire markers on it. It's got little humps in the tires on the edges, and you literally just run your tire down the field and then turn around and put the opposite tire in the track you just run, and go back and forth. It doesn't have drop markers. I don't use them. It's not necessary. You could buy them and use them. I just don't want the extra hydraulics and the hassle. The Oklahoma heat really is hard on hydraulic lines here. We usually cover ours with fire hose. We'll cut the ends off of fire hose and slide it over all of our hydraulic lines just to shelter them from the sun, because the sun is so brutal on the lines. Man, I'll start to sweat. It is stupid hot out here. But yeah, just throwing up a quick video. The LS MT573, a lot of guys want to know what we do with them and all the variations of stuff that can be done. We do everything with it. I mean, it's done everything our big tractors have done. Obviously a lot smaller scale and a lot slower because it's a smaller machine. It's only 75 horsepower. But for what it is and what we do with it, I mean, we were doing 3,000 acres of hay with 3 of those machines, and we were getting it done. They're great tractors. Again, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. I don't know everything. Last video, I had quite a few people ask me some stuff about the tractors, and so I thought, you know what, I better throw up some more information about them as the thoughts come to me about stuff that's either good or bad with the tractors. I don't really have anything bad to say at this point. I think bad dealers make this tractor company have some issues because the dealer networks are just not strong. Mine's a good dealer, but I don't know if that's the case everywhere else. LS's warranties are really good. The few warranty issues I've had, nothing. I've heard nothing. They just fixed it and I got the tractor back. It's been very rare occasions. I think that tractor's only been in the shop twice in 4 years. The hydraulic pump gear went out. I don't know why. It just did. Strip the splines out of it. It is what it is. It broke. They put a new one in it. Haven't had any trouble with that since. And then I had a half shaft break off on the PTO. That particular tractor has only had those 2 problems. I mean, they were down both times for that. I'm like other farmers. I usually have another tractor. If you're able to do that, it worked out. The other LS I had, just like the 573, it never saw the shop. The only time I went to the shop was when they had a recall on it, and it was down for the winter, and I dropped it off and let them do the recalls on it. Aside from that, that tractor, I owned it for 3 years, and it never even went to the shop once for a single repair that I prompted that was broke, that wasn't under a recall or something like that. So really, I've had next to no trouble. I mean, it's super dusty out here. I don't think I can zoom in. Yeah, I can't with this camera. but you gotta see the dust just pouring off the back of his drill as it drags through the field. The air filter systems on these tractors are good. I mean, the tractors just aren't made to go out and do what a 6115 or a 6550, or I mean a 6150 or the LS MT573 bigger tractors. They're just not made to do the stuff this tractor is just not made to do what those tractors do, excuse me. And something's biting me on my back. And for a horsefly. And it's just not made to do what those tractors do. But it does a good job at everything. I've had success. We've got videos on there of us running discs with it, flipping dirt at 6 miles an hour, 10 foot, it's about as wide as you can go with it. And it'll do that pretty well. The lockers on it work. The four-wheel drive is a true four-wheel drive, all-wheel assist. It does lock in the fronts together. It's got planetaries, and it goes to work. The four-wheel drive on it's fantastic. So if you have any questions, I haven't even changed the light bulb in it, headlights or nothing. They've been in there. They're halogen, which I hate. I'm gonna put LED replacements in whenever they go out. And we run a fair amount at night because it's cooler. But aside from that, they're good machines. It hauls 4 bales, 2 front and rear, all the time. We stack hay with it, load trailers with it. I mean, he'll do this field. It'll take him about 2 hours to do this. I think it's 30 acres here. 28 or something like that. I think it's just short of 30 acres here. There's a shop builder right there, and then all that back there. It's about, I think it's 28.6 acres or something like that. It'll take him a couple hours. I think he's going 6 or 7. And you know, we're only 12 or 14 foot wide or 16 foot wide. I think that was 16 foot wide. So I mean, it takes a minute, but we've got the seed rate turned up to 36 on it, 35 or 36. We're gonna go for it this year. I think last year we put it in a little light. We're trying to get to that 100 pounds an acre, you know, 60 pounds an acre plant rate. So we've doubled the, we had it at 21 on the setting, and we bumped it up to 35. And then I'm gonna let it make about 5 or 6 passes, and we'll see how much seed we're using. But we're gonna try to send it and see how much we get out of it yield-wise this year. Here it comes again. It's just making a dust storm. You probably, I don't know if you can see it very well. Just a literal dust storm. He's dropping on the move now, so I guess he's got his lines marked where he wants to be. So he's making the corners, lifting, dropping, so he got his lines set. We don't run any GPSs or Ravens or anything out here. The fields just aren't that big. We just kind of kick it old school, and if we overlap a little, it's just winter seed. And we just bale this for cattle feed, for winter wheat hay. We will harvest this 30 acres that we're currently doing, and that's what we'll combine, and that's our seed usually for the next year. Sometimes we buy it. This is a wheat and rye mix. Sometimes we want to go straight wheat and we just go buy it, but the prices are crazy high this year, so we decided to go ahead and, like I said earlier, use our bin storage stuff and see how that works out for us. We'll be out of it. We'll actually use everything we have, so I won't have any for next year. But we'll harvest it and maybe put some more back in the bin and save it like we did last time. Worked out really well for us last time. The machine is just pouring out seed right now, but anyway, just a quick video. If you have any questions on the LS stuff, I'm happy to answer it. I can't answer everybody every minute of the day. Last time I got quite a few questions. And I enjoy answering those because we've ran these machines for almost 5 years, and I don't think there's a test group out there that's run and done as much stuff we have with these. I mean, I just know it. We've done more stuff with these 2 MT573s and that 4040 HS we had. XR that we had than probably anybody else. That XR moved so much hay, and the reason I sold it is because we just outgrew it and went to bigger tractors. But I wished I would have kept it. That little 4040 hydrostat tractor was the balls, man. It was the deal in the hay pen. It moved hay so fast. Even though we were double spiking with the other ones, you could set that one, the bale next to that one, and stack them as fast as you could that double, because you have to move them next to each other, then pick 2 up and then push them in. Or that one you can set a bale, grab it kind of like a skid steer or a forklift, just you can move so much quicker with that hydrostat setup. Again, that's just a New Holland boomer anyways. Our little case 40 horse, they're all made by LS anyway. So all those tractors, different brands on the hood's the same machine. Ask your dealer when you go into New Holland or case that won't admit it, but if you look at the back under the window, it says made by LS MT573. So, you know, you think you're getting a case. Now the hoods and the buckets will be different because LS has their own specific hood style and bucket, which the buckets, the hydraulic systems for LS are stronger than case and New Holland. I've tested them beside them and they are just stronger. LS goes out of their way to make sure that their hydraulics and buckets are, I mean, no, it's their hydraulic buckets, but their hydraulics for the rear detents and the bucket stuff is top notch. They really do run a really high pressure, and I have just almost no trouble with them. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys got any questions, we're just planting some winter wheat, and I thought I'd throw up a little more information about the LS and see if anybody had any more questions. But we're putting it to work. It's gonna go out here and work in this 100-degree day, 103 the heat index, all day long. So anyways, peace out, guys. Hey, please like and subscribe. We're trying to increase video content, and it sure does help you guys in our algorithms and stuff with suggesting videos to other people, so that our content can get out and we can help more farmers that do stuff like us. And we'd really like to be more involved in the farming community. We are going to the tractor show, or the Great American Tractor Show farm show in Iowa. I think it's in somewhere in Iowa. My mind went totally blank. Rother, Iowa. Yeah, I'll put it in the description below. But it's the August 30th through September 1st, and we're gonna go up and do that. We're not gonna have a booth or anything. We're gonna go up and see all of our favorite YouTubers that'll be down there. So anyways, we'll see you guys later.